Hey guys, Matt from Just Stack It here, and we have a slightly more interesting video today. Nothing too crazy on the table, just some good examples of silver dimes. But that is where the problem lies. See, I'm predominantly a stacker. I wanted to have what everybody wants to have, some financial peace of mind. I wanted to be my own bank of sorts. I wanted, a hedge against some of the inflation. Now, I was a little late. It took me a while to get out of debt, but that's my story, and that's fine. I started late. That's well and good. I'm happy to be on my way, though. The point here is that I've crossed a line. And now I collect things like this in a flip. Here's a 1911D Barber. So nice. So very, very nice. It's hard to find really good examples of these, out there unless you're paying a lot of money, which sometimes I do. But the Barbers, they're the older of the generation of dimes. So just to have some that look decent is amazing. Most of them are kind of slicked out. But, you have your rosies. Here's I don't know, leopard toned spots all over it, 1955p, that I got in an auction. I think some of these I got from Big Flip. Some I got from Ringmaster Ray, right there on the channel stickers in the background. Here is a 1961 Rosie. Still, somebody cut this out of a mint set so they could separate it. They probably sent in like the $50 or the quarter for grading or something. But that's there. Here's another 1955. But this is where my line got crossed, because I was buying constitutional, because you start buying silver and you buy rounds. And then maybe you pick up an American Eagle because you got a deal on it. And then you're like, okay, like this government-backed stuff carries a little bit more of a premium. But then you want fractional silver, but the premiums on it are so high. Well, here's your ticket, is the 90%. And it's government-backed. It's the best of all worlds, right? And that's what gets us. And I was doing that. I have rolls. I did not bring them out for this video, but I have rolls of dimes. And that's fine. I have a bunch of them. The problem therein lies when you get an affinity for those dimes and stacking them, and then you see a really nice one. So I'm not up on my numismatics. I'm not very big into it. I know a little bit about a little bit, but I know a good coin when I see one, right? I think we all do. It's something that is just apparent, something very old that's in very good condition, and you're just like, yep, that's worth way more than, its silver value, or what a normal dime would go for. Usually around here, about 20 times face is what you're talking about to anyone, anywhere, being a good, decent price to buy. So this is what happened. I had all those dimes. I'd see them. I'd get a couple Mercs, and I'd be like, okay, my Mercs look very slick, right? No detail, no real detail to speak of almost at all. And some of them you can't even discern. You can tell it's a Merc, that's about it. Some of them are just very worn. But then you start to see ones like this, and you're like, oh, well, yeah, I'll buy one of those. It'd be nice to have one. And then you see another one, and you pay a little bit more. And then you kind of get into the numismatic side, where you may have some things. Same thing with $50. Stack those because they're silver, right? And then you see a proof slab Benji, and you're like, oh, that's really pretty. I want to have an example of what they're supposed to look like. And that's kind of what got me is I started buying these things here and there, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I got a couple dimes. I'm like, oh, it'd be nice to have more dimes. Oh, it'd be nice to have a set of dimes. And now I have multiple sets, and we will get into that in another video. Where do you draw the line? Where does the stacking stop and the numismatic begin? Because I still feel like, and I look at these are still part of my stack. They're silver, they're in good shape. They may actually be arguably a better investment, time will tell, than purchasing, the equivalent dollar amount in silver. It just depends, I guess, how the numismatic side plays out. And the same thing can be said about silver. Over time, we expect its price to go up, and both are true. The only difference here is you're playing both sides when you buy silver coins. If the silver goes way up, the price of these are going to go up, undoubtedly. If the numismatic popularity goes up, the price of these are going to go up. You get to play both sides. And that was where I got caught. And now I have a bunch of dimes, a bunch of half dollars. Recently picked up a quarter set from Mr. Big Flip of all the Washington quarters. Not all of them are silver, but I see the value in having sets of things. If you can, not everybody can. These things probably took a lot of people a lot of time. I cheated. I went in and I just bought them, which I don't feel, a lot of people don't like that, the numismatic side, but I feel it's almost the right thing to do to try to honor the memory and the effort of somebody who took all that time to put that set together. Because I'm not going to be some guy that's going to take the key pieces out and go sell them and then just offload the rest. I'm going to keep the set, right? Because somebody took the time to make it. That's what I want. I didn't want the silver. I didn't want, maybe one of the half dollars would grade really high and it's rarer than most, and it's going to fetch a premium if I get it graded. That's not what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep the book. So it's a weird place to be. I like stacking, and I still consider this stacking, but I want to know what your thoughts are. Am I stacking wrong? Have I turned against my stacking nature to the dark side? Is that the road that I have begun to walk down? Because I don't feel like I am, and it's just really nice. And I'll show some other examples in future videos of some really nice dimes and half dollars and things that I have. It's something about being able to look at history, and not just an old coin that's worn, but something that is in pretty close to pristine, untouched condition, if you can get that on some of these older things. It's a thing of beauty. It's a piece of artwork. It's culture. It's so many things. And to have an example of that to show my kids and teach them, I feel is priceless. And that's part of the reason why I do what I do. But I want to know what your thoughts are. Am I stacking wrong? Let me know in the comments. I will see you guys in the next video. As always, I appreciate your time and attention. Be good to people out there and take it easy.